What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Pete's Carport, and welcome to another video featuring our 1995 Mercedes S500 W140. You guys have been awesome on supporting this car, so I want to try to bring you as many videos as we can. Today, as you guys know from the title, we're going to be trying out our pin reader. This is a 95 which doesn't have an obd2 port, and if you get a check engine light, you can diagnose it through this one has a 38 pin reader. I'm going to show you guys where that's at. I went ahead and set up my code reader over here. I'm going to break it all down for you. It can be slightly confusing, and I'm hoping I've got all the information right, because I've been doing research all week long on trying to figure out exactly how this reader works, how to find the codes, and then eventually how to fix those codes. So today's video is only going to be about using the reader, getting the codes, and then taking them from there. We're going to do some follow-up videos where we go through and diagnose it. So a quick breakdown. This car got a check engine light about a year ago, and I kind of ignored it because the car was running great. I let it sit for a little while, and it had some issues starting up. I figured it was fuel filter, spark plug, so I went ahead and did those. But the one thing that got rid of it was actually running some fuel cleaner through and just driving the car. So I figured the check engine light was an O2 sensor or something like that. That didn't mean anything, because I've been driving it now for a little over a year with that check engine light. I know that's kind of terrible, but it's not a simple process to do this, and you got to order the reader. And finally, this car started giving me some major issues the other day, and instead of trying to go through all the different things and trying to fix it, I said, let me go ahead and finally take care of the check engine light. So I went on eBay and I ordered this reader, and I believe it's from Rick's, let's see here, it's Rick's Mercedes code reader, and you can pick it up, trying to keep the shadow out of there, at mercedesreader.com, or going to eBay and finding this exact reader. I do have to tell you, I purchased another reader that I didn't get a chance to use in the past, and it was nowhere near the quality of this. It ended up going in a drawer and ended up breaking. So I went and ordered this. I think it was $34 shipped to my door. Rick sends it along with a nice pouch. He even throws a piece of candy in there, and then he gives you, you know, he's a very family-friendly guy, because obviously he throws his family in there, his cars in there, which is really neat. And then he kind of breaks down. So we're going to quickly go through this, because we're going to be doing it on the car anyways. Any of you guys out there that have done this before, please fill me in on anything that I'm doing today. I'm doing this for the first time, and I'm hoping that we can all learn from this, even if I make mistakes. But I think I fully understand what this is, the way that this works. But once again, this is the first time I've ever done this, and I've never done it with anybody else either. So it's always great having you guys fill me in the comments, and then I can even do a follow-up video, which we're planning many of those. So Rick sends this out. Now, he's got the website you can go to, and that's where I was able to print out these, and I'll explain to you what those are. And that is mercedescodereader.com. So basically, you go through here and you figure out what socket you have. Like I said, we have a 38 socket. He tells you what to do here. We're going to go through that, which is turning the engine to the on position, and then how to clear your codes, and we'll go through that. He talks about here getting your PDF file. So I went to his site and I scrolled through all the different PDFs and found the W140 here. Which is the model, and 92 to 95. I don't know why it has 92 to 94 and then 92 to 95, but this is kind of your table of contents. So from what I understand is, no matter what pin we put it into, we get the flashes. We're going to go to this, and then we're going to basically know that that's the code. So what I've done now is the one more thing that was on this page that I didn't fully understand, but I went ahead and wrote down. It says here on the 38 pin, you want 4, 5, 7, 8, 17, and 19, and it's got some asterisks there. And the asterisks, I guess, are for a V12, but then it says pin 5 and 18. I'm guessing 18 is an error because it says 17 up here. So that kind of confused me a little bit. And then if you come back to here, it says that not all pins, right up in here, it says not all pins are going to be able to be read. I understood that, so what we're going to do is try to read all the readable pins. I'm going to show you guys exactly what that means, but I wrote down these ones that were mentioned as the readable pins for check engine lights. All right, guys, so now where do we find this on our 95? So basically, you're going to have a cover, which I've already taken off, that is right here. So you're going to undo, there's 4 Allen key bolts, take that out and set it off to the side, and your reader's right here. It's not going to be that way on every car. So if we go ahead and we're going to grab our page and look at this, you've got, this is pin 1, 2, and 3, and then it kind of goes in order. So this one is slightly angled, so you got to make sure you understand which way yours go. So if we look at it that way, this is the order of the pins. If we look down in there, you're going to see exactly what I meant by not every pin is readable. So you see here there's a metal sleeve in only certain pins. We're going to start with the ones that were mentioned for the check engine light. We're going to write them all down, we're going to look them up, and then we're going to clear them all. And I'm going to explain to you why we're going to clear them all and how we do that. So let's get set up. I'm going to start doing each one of these. I'm going to show you guys how to do it, and then I'm going to write down all the codes I get in each pin. So first you want to go into your car and you're going to turn your ignition to the on. That's going to basically turn all your dash lights on, your radio on, and that's going to allow this to work. Then you're going to grab your reader and you've got red, yellow, and black. Black is your ground. It is going to go into the number 1 slot, okay? Next one is going to be the red. The red is going to be our power. That can go in 2 or 3. But we're going to go 2 because that's actually when you have your ignition on. But from what I tested, you have to have your ignition on for it to work on either one of those ports. So you can technically use 2 or 3, but we're going to go ahead and use number 2 because I've already tested this out and I know it works. Now, let's go ahead and grab our paper and I'll show you guys what we're going to do next. Okay, so like I said earlier, these are the number pins that I wrote down because it's what it said on the sheet are the ones that cause check engine lights. So let's go ahead and start with that number 4. This way I can show you guys how this thing works. Alright, so I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to put it into pin number 4. And once I put it into there and I hold this down, I should get a light. I'm going to hold it for 3 seconds, let go, and if I get some flashes, that's 1. So I got a 1 flash. So it says on the thing, if you get 1 flash, that means there are no codes to be read. So we're going to go to our next socket on that. Alright guys, so number 5 is the next on our list, but that's the one with the asterisks. And in here, we do not have a metal sleeve, so we cannot read that. Now number 6 does have a metal sleeve, but it was not one of the ones listed on the sheet. So I'm going to jump past that, but I'm still going to write those down after I get off this with you guys. But we're going to go to number 7, which is the next on that list. So let's jump over to number 7 here. Slide our pin in. Now what we do is we hold this down for 3 seconds, okay, and then we're going to count the flashes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had 5 flashes. So let's write down 5 next to our number 7 pin. So I'll go ahead and write that down. Now we don't want to go to the next pin unless we get 5 again. So if we hold this down for 3 seconds, we let go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 6 that time. So we want to write down 5 and 6 on the number 7 pin. Now we can keep going with that. We'll hold it down for 3 seconds. And we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we got 5, 6, and 14. We're going to keep doing that on every pin and writing down all the numbers that we get, and then we're going to basically go back to our sheet and figure out what codes those are. Then we can come back here and clear those. And the way that we do that is once we get back to that 5, what we're going to do is after we get that 5 flashes, we're going to hold this down again for approximately 8 to 10 seconds, and that's going to clear that code from the system. And if it doesn't come back, then we know that that code is no longer in existence. So if we get our check engine light on again, we can go back and check all the codes that we got and see which ones still come up, and those are the ones that we need to fix. So it is a very tedious system. but I'm hoping you guys are following me, understanding. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through each one of these pins. I'm going to write down every code that I get, and then we're going to revert back to our sheet, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. Alright guys, so that was quite tedious, and here are the results. You see 4, 5, 7, 8, 17, and 19 were the ones that originally were told to have cause check engine lights. So you can see on those, we had none on 4. 5 was actually a blank, but we kind of knew that was going to happen. 7, 8, 17, and 19 had quite a few codes, but 17 was by far the most tedious. I went ahead and circled any of the codes that repeated on other pins that I could read on, and you can see 13 had none. For some reason 14 just kept a constant light, so I skipped that. 16 had a constant flash, so it basically never stopped with the flashing, so it never gave me a number. And then 21 just had an insane amount of codes, and most of them seemed like startup engine codes when I went back to our sheet. And then if you look at 20, that had quite a few codes too, so I went ahead and cleared all of those, and that one had 2 of the repeating ones. So if we go to our sheet here and kind of look at it, one of the common things was EGR. So you had EGR up here, and then I believe there's another EGR right here on 37, and those were repeating ones. So with that said, next video, I think what I need to do is an EGR cleaning, because this car is having some crazy idle issues, and EGR, dirty EGR could absolutely cause that. But of course, I went ahead and cleared the codes. Now I saved some codes so I can show you guys how to clear them, and I have not yet cleared our bank number 7. So let me go ahead, I'm going to switch this over now to our number 7. We're going to hold it down for 3 seconds. Let it go. We're going to count the flashes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's 6. Now we're going to hold it down for 10 seconds, and that is going to clear our 6. Alright. Now we're going to hold it for 3 again, and we're going to count, and we should get 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Alright, now we're going to hold it for 10 seconds. Clear that. The next one's going to be 5. I'll just jump to that, and then I'll show you guys how it'll show just a 1 flash once it's done. Okay, so now that we finished that off, I'm going to show you when you hold it down for 3 seconds and let it go, it should flash just once. That tells you that all the codes have been cleared, and I've done that now on every one of these banks. So on 7 there, you can see it went in order. Now what I can do is drive the car around. When my check engine light comes back on, I can then go back and check all those banks that had codes and see which codes come up. But I'm guessing our EGR is going to be the one that comes up. So I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope I didn't go over anybody's head. This took me a while of a lot of research online to really understand what to do. And once I understood that my 38 pin, I had to basically print the sheet that correlated to my car, and then go through each one of the pins that had a metal sleeve in them, write down all the codes, clear them all. It really made sense to me, and now I'm fully starting to understand how to use this device. I hope you guys learned along with me, or if you've done this before and you saw something I did wrong, I love learning and I love when you guys give me feedback. Please chime in below. But once again, my name's Pete. This is Pete's Carport. We're always trying to learn everything we can about these W140s, pre-OBD2, and past OBD2. So if you have an OBD2 one, obviously it's going to be a little bit easier, but if you have one of these, that's a really fun thing to learn. This is what the mechanics and techs had to do back before the OBD2 port existed, and so it's kind of neat to learn what these old school mechanics had to do and just diagnosing it the old way. It kind of brings you a little bit closer to your car. So once again, like I was saying, my name's Pete. This is Pete's Carport. If this is your first time joining this channel because you found it, trying to figure out codes on your car, please subscribe. I do tons of Mercedes content. As you can see, I have a W126 here. My R129 is parked right out there because it's what I'm driving. And I actually have the S600 still tucked away back there. Go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and you guys have an awesome day and a blessed week. Thanks again for joining me.